Why cringe lasted so long. Okay, so this is a beautiful like little idea I had out of nowhere. So there's gonna be two videos. So these videos are gonna be storyboard videos. This video is explaining a whole lot about the community and how I work for the community. And the other video is like literally traits I've learned after literally on my way to be a professional last year. What I learned for watching slice of life anime. I'm gonna be breaking down scenes literally about certain ideas I got from animes. I'm gonna start uploading my manga a whole lot more, but I'm gonna upload it with clips of anime. So yeah, I'm gonna slide some clips and stuff like that. But literally, I'm gonna make sure literally you get the reference. So I'm gonna start literally freaking literally being on par with the shit. You have to understand that. This video is heavily tied into the next video, which will be the storyboard video, but it has something to do with animation in general. Let you know that I chose the host for season 2 for my channel. Go back to season 1, literally, Robert was barely there, like literally, if anything, literally, I put emphasis on Robert this season, literally, because I want you to understand that literally I learned that from dealing with cringe, but not absorbing it to a point where literally I understand that I needed it to further my career, but I stepped back a little bit and I appreciate the day and literally what I grew up on. I grew up on the 90s. I grew up on literally freaking retro sounds, literally fucking disco music like R&B and stuff like that. I grew up on everything that had to do with a soul, and you guys grew up on fucking paper mache, fucking RuneScape and fucking Smash Bros. Shows your entire life. Fucking we don't have to do fucking anything. The computer things for us and shit. Literally, that's the generation you think on. Fucking body language is a fucking a fucking anime technique to you guys. I'm telling you. You know what body language is due to being exposed to society. But what if I told you, what if they didn't have a mom and dad? The only reason why their generation keeps up is because the art of the newer generation. Every fucking generation gets faster and faster and faster. That doesn't mean they get smarter. They're already in trying everything. Like, little kids are already playing with smartphones. That doesn't mean they're making better decisions. You get what I'm saying? Literally, they view life like a fucking meme. They make it real. Like, they view, like, literally shit staying still, but they know what shit is. So basically, you gotta call out everything on paper that I'm gonna call you out about, but you're not gonna put in the action and let me know what you're doing. Because part of being a professional is mindset. You can't have a curious mindset when you're a professional. You can't have a lazy mindset if you're a professional. You can't have a biased mindset if you're a professional. And you gain all those nasty traits and attributes by staying in your own little cave, but literally fucking controlling literally Discord servers, literally pretending you're a shit where you're not, knowing that you're accepting being elusive, taking advantage of your position in society, literally, and not allowing the other person to have a chance to know that. You gain those traits like that because you're aware of the whole situation in between, and you feel like the paper is gonna make up for it, knowing that the paper that's moved, the paper doesn't talk to you and shit like that, and the relationships you're making that work are horrible. A whole world where the older generation of gangster views everybody as just a fucking crackhead, fucking Rockefeller who's sick in the mind, who's homosexual, who's fucking running the fucking, industry and shit like that. For people who already live their fucking life and don't have to worry about the government, guess where they leave people like me, and, Tekken 101 and people who like literally fucking are struggling and trying to make it to the top, having a disadvantage in society. Yeah, the nerds can be fucking losers and shit, and the people who already lived their life use respect. What happens when somebody's trying to gain something in life, and the people who are full of shit are holding them back, and literally it gets even worse when they join a gang. It's just that what happens with Lily, you give the nerd the ultimate fucking power to stay in his cave, but Lily, he's never learning. But guess what, Lily? Guess what this one guy did? This one guy showed Lily, the nerds, what they were missing out of growing up. What you see is what you get. There's nothing to expect and stuff like that. Lily is how they grew up. There's nothing to expect. So you view things like a grown man, but you don't put in the work like a grown man. Lily, you get a fucking entry fee, you start saying shit like a grown man based on a whole bunch of research and shit, but when somebody puts you to a test and tries to make you put it in a different context, you start throwing a temper tantrum, and Lily, the other person lives their life, but you're still in a position of power. That ain't right. So the topic of this video today is how did cringe last so long? So cringe lasted long for a reason, because how the older generation view things. Like, people view me, Lily, fucking, Lily going up, grilling fucking girls, like Lily fucking knocking out fucking whole gang members when they know me as a nerd and shit, Lily, and fucking, I just say, well, I learned Kung Fu. Lily, stuff like that, because I learned as an adult, you can't be dramatic, you can't be absorbed by a situation to the point where you can't use logic and shit. And Lily, I know how to treat supernatural shit as little shit because of Lily, what life did me. Lily, it doesn't matter if I fucking, Lily destroyed the fucking track record. I need to apply for something basic because I broke my fucking leg and shit. You don't understand and shit. Like, Lily, I can do extraordinary shit, but what if I realize that I need to get casual shit like money in order to survive? And it's fucking, you only make me able to do extraordinary shit so I can never do simple shit, so they can always call me a little kid jumping up and down instead of a calm, cool, sophisticated adult. Or maybe you're just a person who's full of shit and it's Lily, hiding behind that fucking suit that you don't even have to wash and shit. Fucking your grandma fucking does your shoot for you and fucking shit. Lily, you don't fucking understand. Like, Lily, if I call you out, you gonna go back to corporate. I'm like, you're still a fucking loser and shit, like Lily. So how did it last so long? Due to everybody's generation, due to fucking Uncle Jay's generation, due to like literally everybody's, that grew up's generation, literally growing up this ain't shit. We grew up on Saw, we grew up on Jackass, we grew up on literally doing shit that you're scared of in order to get paid and shit. You don't know what we're doing. We grew up on Fear Factor, literally. We grew up on shit that fucking blood wasn't fucking enough. Try being a whole fucking cage of fucking scorpions and insects and shit that expected literally fucking you guys like literally fucking you don't even know like how they're fucking trained you when you get older. Very fun facts about life is like literally, do you know that those people are trained to fucking deal with those bugs? They're trained to put their mind in a current state of meditation to the point where literally the bugs can't take. You know how animals can sense fear? Well, if you're in a fucking box with a whole bunch of scorpions and they'll sting you because you're calm, cool, and collect. I learned that over time, and that's something you gotta learn as an actor when you go into Fear Factor. Back then, we didn't have green screens, like we couldn't use them constantly, so we had to rely on natural shit, and that's what we used to, recording the wild and stuff like that. That's all made fucking the world great. But we went from recording actual, fucking animals in the wild to like literally having nothing fucking be accepted instead of the puppy bowl and like literally fucking, veterinarians, fucking veterinarian cops and stuff like that. That's all to benefit Cringe. You know why? It supports a part of society and their economy. So literally, all the passion shit was taken out and was replaced by basic shit. And literally, so what they would do is they would lead the Cringe on literally to a certain extent. Like literally, they had a hood element. So what did Cringe say? First of all, let me tell you that Cringe never existed. Cringe is something that built up over time ever since the 2010s. The world was always organic. The world was always dank. But why did it turn so cringy? Why did the atmosphere change a whole different feel? Do you know why? Was because like this. Maybe it wasn't the whole world that was affected. It was your personal life and literally what was going on in your personal suburb and stuff like that. But what I feel is like literally a person from the older generation. It's very dank, right? Because they know how to live life and shit. Like if you live in a hood, like literally, say if you went to a group home and you're just some kid listening to music, going to a dollar store and shit, wondering about the AIDS game, like literally learned a cool fact about a celebrity that you used to grow up with and died. Like I used to listen to Chester and Linkin Park, and literally when he died, I'm like, literally, this is growing up. It's crazy. I'm trying to tell you, it's insane. Shit like that keeps us at bay, but that's not for little kids. And you don't want to live like that because you want to earn something like that. You want to be able to actually afford to reminisce. Reminiscing isn't something you do when you have to earn something, literally. Once you earn something, then you can reminisce. So how did Cringe last so long? Was because Cringe wasn't really Cringe. Cringe was our interpret of dank. So what is dank? Dank is organic, literally, automatic acceptance, and Cringe is a halt on somebody's brain, where a nerd is pretending he's liking something where he's not, where he's accepting literally a reference instead of something that's actually fun to get by. Like literally, there was this one thing in my, hometown, the Bay Area, where we go stupid, go dumb, where we play with cars, really, where we drive the car, and literally, we hop with the windows open. We leave the car doors open, we still drive the car and we shake our dreads and we call it go dumb. And so that we do shit like we have donuts, we have scraping where we do shakes with the car markings and shit like literally skirt, like we do figure eight, we do this thing called donuts where we race cars like literally fucking and we scrape, we do a whole bunch of, we have people dance on top of their cars and shit. It's fucking crazy and shit like that, like literally. And then Cat Curry during the One Piece fight, because I kept on making AMVs for that Bay Area, I saw Cat Curry because he automatically, his power is to become mochi bread, right? Literally. And he can mold his bread into donuts and tying you, like, and literally turn his donuts into ropes and stuff like that. It's really, really a cool power. So, like, literally, fucking, one time, like, literally, he had to increase his speed, so he turned himself into a donut, and it was, like, a reference to the Bay Area, and literally, I was watching One Piece shit every fucking week. I was watching fucking One Piece forums every week, and literally, so this is how you live in the anime community? You read the manga or hear about the manga a certain amount of time, and do you see it in the anime? Fucking everyone talks about literally, it's like, oh, we already know what's about to happen. How's the anime get executed? Fucking beautiful fucking thinking and stuff like that, but literally, that's not something you want to do all the time. Literally, that's really, really good. I like that that's a different aspect of viewing anime, but I want to view anime like that, but still have the freedom to make my AMVs and not be judged by society, because the whole reason why this happened is because Cringe took advantage of the concept of AMV. A gangster fucking AMV with fucking Looney Tunes or a fucking 50 Cent song, literally. Nothing can go wrong. You can sure adult that and love that fucking concept, but 9 times out of 10, it's not. It's fucking people making anime fight scenes or Linkin Park songs. That's his reputation. But some AMVs are like that, but you have to go deep and down to YouTube, and we gave them such a bad reputation that we made sure that AMVs no longer fucking existed, nor were supported in society. And now we don't have custom backbones on YouTube, because the whole point of Cringe was to like recognize that you're not getting a benefit and being passive, but recognize that literally we're in a halt in that economy. So it's not just the media, it's the fact that we have to move on as an economy. It's not the TV, it's literally what's going on in America. And what was going on in America was literally fucking, a rape culture going on, literally fucking stealing girls and shit. Like gangsters were starting to pretend to be cops, and literally we didn't know if we could trust the police anymore. bro. We're going through a whole bunch of literally unorthodox shit during COVID. Literally, a whole bunch of dank shit is going on. A whole bunch of people from the dark end that learning how to be fucking cops and shit and stuff like that. Literally putting people in certain situations, taking advantage of in-between situations, then they're hooking up for nerds. It's even worse, but the nerds don't even know what's extreme going on. And I grew up passionately. I grew up on literally fucking SpongeBob, literally Naruto, literally everything that made like literally media great back in the day. But literally, they came when media was watered down, but they understand why the media was watered down. So they're spazzing. So why did I mention that character fight? You know, all this fucking research I'm doing about anime and shit, and I'm fucking literally fucking the donuts and stuff like that. Literally, we're doing donuts and scraper park, and all of a sudden I see a Japanese anime character turn to a donut after all that research. Oh yeah, I like you doing all that research, but the only reason why I liked it because I kept it dank. I made sure it was the coolest fucking character with the best strip, with the best power in fucking One Piece, and I stood there and I got my fucking donut. But you guys literally, they take that donut concept and they live through that, like literally fucking like, oh, the only reason why I enjoy it is because I did my top research on it. I know I get where he's referencing shit like that. Literally fucking, so they made this thing where I'm okay with being in a position of power and I know it's full of shit as long as I keep on having people make fucking media from me. That only gives me a slight fucking, you know, bit of hope, a slight bit of entertainment, but everything else is filled with what I'm already doing for the community. So let me tell you, there was pieces like that kept me a bay. There was my form of, you know, dank. Like Boruto had some cool episodes because I was a big fan of Naruto fillers. So like when everybody was making fun of Boruto, literally only talking about the most important part of the manga, I was watching filler episodes from time to time. If it's entertaining, I would watch to see what the filler is about, and then I would watch it. I would be more open-minded, and people were like, "There's no such thing. Filler is stupid. Filler has nothing to do with canon. What's the whole point if it's not the author's original creation?" I'm like, the author has to approve of it in some way, shape, or form. So what kept Cringe together when people could have called out dank shit? How come you can't call Cringe out on being dank? There was this one kid that literally fucking gave me a hood nigga roast for literally doing something about cringy shit going on. I'm sitting over here, when he looks at me, he thinks about his favorite R&B singer and shit, but he took advantage of the fact that R&B didn't exist anymore and that we had to listen to Lil Pump on the radio. So all of a sudden, there's nothing but mumble rap on the radio, and all of a sudden you hit me with fucking Charlie Murphy and Bernie Mac fucking roast. I timed into a roast star and I got burned because he was typing online because there was 3 kids in a trench coat and 3 of the highest tiers with the biggest fucking country action trying to go around me and try to use reverse psychology, but it didn't fucking work. But it gave him a platform to work off of because they all sounded tough and stuff like that, and I sounded alright. Is that I didn't feel like putting the effort. I already had a brain, and he tried to overwhelm me with delivery that only works on a little fucking kid. Like, hey, get your automobile, this and that. A car is really important. But guess what? In a fucking world of fucking nothing, it has context, nothing is complex. Literally, a deep voice means you're strong and stuff like that. Doesn't mean you're hiding from any pedophilia or anything. Fucking none of the complex things you learn growing up. That's a hard voice means he's strong, means you can knock you out. And the little kid with the squeaky voice can't learn martial arts. Nope, what you see is what you get, what you hear is what you get, and nothing fucking else. We create a society that thrives off that, but guess what happens? We also create a society that knows is a castrate too, that knows that they can, but knows that they don't get support in society. So instead of being understand this situation, the nerd will treat the same guy who's struggling to fit in on both sides of the field, who's trying to figure out his purpose in life, a really hard time because he doesn't want to play the fucking nerd game if it's boring. He wants to go back to when nerd was being a goal. Like, let me get a stronger deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Let me get better at this fighting game. Let me get better at this and that. Instead of really blaming the other fucking nerd and really keeping your position and then hacking fucking other nerds and really try and make it at the experience and say, join the fucking Cringe. Why did Cringe last so long? Because every time you try called out, you get literally called out by society, and they will hit you with the most thing shit at one point, and then they'll go automatically back to Cringe. Literally. And then if you try to call them out, they're having a show called BoJack Horseman, which is about a drunk fucking celebrity who really was in his prime and stuff like that. One piece of dank. And literally, there was this other arc in this anime called One Piece where there was this one literally guy wearing fucking pink flamingo feathers, literally pulling strings like Godfather and shit. Literally was for 100 episodes, and literally fucking 100 episodes of that guy fucking pulling the strings, sending his fucking minions out and shit like that. 100 episodes. One piece of dank. On top of a whole bunch of bullshit so nobody can question. Things are still going along. You know it's just entertainment anyway. Get back to work. You should have a job by now. Cringe lasted long because it was an easy entry fee. But just because it was an entry fee. I knew why it was an entry fee, but we figured out over time that cringe was only supposed to be temporary. So what if we give you, Lily, the power to say this and that with no complexity? What if we allow you to live with power with no responsibility forever? Lily, what if we give you something that you can't keep up but you can gain easily? So what if you have the automatic thing that you can show off to your friend first thing, but Lily, the guarantee that it's not gonna stay, because in order for it to stay, you have to change as a person and you have to really be on your shit and you can't fall with the defensive cracks. But what if we make this thing called Photoshop? What if we make this thing dependent on people trying to make it on paper? What if Lily, you join fucking Lily, not even just a rap league, but a rap music group, and they have to use fucking Photoshop for labels and shit, and you didn't go to school for graphic design, and they try to say you need fucking us and shit, Lily, fucking shit, and then Lily, you fucking learn how to use their fucking tricks, and you have to deal with them, and they're absolutely fucking gone and father because they rely on the same thing, and you learn how to be multi-dimensional, but you still end up kissing their ass because guess what, Lily, was left in the world? Nothing but fucking douchebags, nothing but fucking stupid people, Lily. And so Lily, so the older generation's like, Dad, nobody's having a job with this and that because Lily, they're just accepting the guy going out with the girl with no contact and no call. He's like, what? That can't be right, son. He's Lily didn't know if he working. No, that's exactly what's happening, Dad. Lily, everybody is getting replaced by either a retard or fucking somebody with no muscles, Lily, or an old person. There's nobody that looks like me working nowadays. Dad, like, why? I'm like, because there's this thing where you can do anything as long as you can blame the stereotype, Lily, and then Lily, you can add on shit that like Lily, like top it back. But then Lily, if it doesn't work, if you call the complexity, they start getting gangs. It's getting so hectic to the point where that gangs pretend to be police, and then Lily, they get out the country. Then not only the gangs get away with faking police, the nerds get away with fucking hacking. I'm like, what?